lip smacks already. Oh, brother. No,
some of that coleslaw, little brother.
Oh, no, coleslaw. No context will ever be provided. Okay. Everybody ready?
Yes.
Maybe.
I got my style.
What's up, everybody? Thank you all for tuning in this Wednesday morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you're watching it. Unless you're not watching it Wednesday, which shame on you. Episodes come out on Wednesday. Just remember. Well, welcome back. Of course, it's your boy Mark, and I'm with the reliable Ryan and the beefy Breezy over here. So we're about to get it started. I'm going to switch it up today, though. So we need to get a little housekeeping out the way. So we have a couple announcements for you guys. One, you boys are online. We got a YouTube channel. By the time this is out, the first couple episodes should be on YouTube in their entirety. If you want to see, some visual effects. No actual video though, because technical difficulty. But we have a substitute that the boy Ryan has programmed for us, so you guys get to see that. So we'll be seeing you soon. Also, I want to do a shout out to my boy Alex. So it's actually 4 of us that go way back like full flats on the Cadillacs. It's 3 of us and Alex. We all met in high school and we've been boys ever since. His birthday was this week, so I just wanted to give him a shout out. And I want to give a shout out to my grandma. Her birthday is this week.
Oh, happy birthday, Grandma. Didn't know that.
Yeah, man. Then I got a couple other things too. I want to hit you guys with some new segments I want to do. One of them you guys know about, so we'll talk about that one at the end of the show to get everybody into that one. Mm-hmm. But the 2 other ones I wanted to talk about are some ones I got from one of my favorite podcasts I look at. So, podcasts I look at is Shits and Gigs. You guys know about it. I talk to you about it. And if you guys haven't, the fans, listeners out there, if you guys haven't checked them out, please do. They're great. Couple guys, funny as hell.
Great
and they always have some fun stuff going on. But the first thing I was talking about is a gym fitness challenge. So my life's crazy right now with school and everything, but June, I'm done with school. Summer starts and everything. So what I want to do, I want to challenge you guys to a gym challenge because we're all competitive and we all like to win. So I want to do something about it. I don't know the ins and outs of it yet, so we can talk about it. We can figure out the prizes, or we're going to do prizes, or however we're going to do this. But essentially it's I want to get in shape. But anytime I try to get in shape, it never works out unless I go with some of the boys. Like last summer, I went with a couple of boys that I worked with at my part-time gig. And it was going really well until stuff happened, we just weren't able to do it anymore. But we're already forcing each other to spend time with each other to do the podcast. So I'm like, let's up the stakes a little bit. Because I'm saying it out here. I'm saying it now. One year doing this podcast, I want to be sitting here in a crop top hoodie and some hoochie daddy shorts and be confident in it.
Sounds just like my nephew. The timing on this is perfect because he's talking shit, so I'm getting in shape for a lot of reasons. Ryan heard that before we left the house today. It's perfect. I actually cleaned my garage today so I can get out there and actually start exercising out there.
Okay.
So
that's what he was doing. He just disappeared from the house suddenly. We were looking around for him. I thought he had left me. We were going to go over your house. I was like, dude, where's Breezy? Have you seen him? He's like, nah, man, I thought he was with you.
Whoopsies. That's perfect, Dan. Yeah. So I'm like, do it whatever you want to now before then, but I'm going to say June 1st. Get some membership to gyms, buy what you ever need to do, whatever it was. Mm-hmm. But by then, we need to figure out what the challenge is going to be. And I think it'll be fun, too, because we're going to keep up with it and we'll have listeners. So, the world knows about it. Yeah. So we can't bitch out.
God damn it. True.
Well, if you can't think of any rewards, you could always just think of punishments.
Also, I'm dying, I'm saying,
This group is always good for punishment.
Oh, yeah. Always.
It's like a reward for the listeners.
Yeah, I'm down with that. All right, so the second thing they talked about on the podcast was accountability for yourself. And this one really hit home with me because I I tend to like tell myself I'm gonna do stuff, and like I try to do stuff, and like I just don't do it. So like he had one of the guys, James, on there. He had a great idea. He said he bought himself a calendar. So what I did, I bought myself a little $5 calendar off Amazon. He said what he did was he set these couple parameters for himself, and if he hits the parameters, he gets a green check. He takes a green pen, do a check. And if he misses even one of those parameters by any milestone, whatever, just a red X. And I was just like, I just felt like that was speaking to me because I was just like, the visual representation of me like fucking off a whole day or actually doing something for a day and like having that like in my face every day. I'm like, that'd be enough. Like my male ego, competitiveness, whatever you want to call it, is going to kick in. So like I bought myself a calendar and like my plan for myself is what I want to do is like drink more water. Like I need to do my gallon of water a day because I'm horrible at drinking water. And the other two is going to be an hour of work a day for the podcast or like other projects that we're working on just in general, and then an hour work a day on like personal stuff, either stuff from school, stuff around the house, stuff for Sophie, just whatever that is. So that's gonna be like, and like I feel like as it goes on, I want to add more stuff to it. But those are gonna be my things I set up with, and I encourage you guys to do the same because it's like I know how we all are, and it's like if we have a visual representation of us telling that we fucked up, we gonna stop fucking up. So you know, just my little 2 cents from my week so far. How about you guys? How was your week so far?
Ooh,
past week.
I had a nasty surprise just a little while ago. See, the past 3 days I had spent trying to make this little tool to animate text because I wanted to make one of those moving text videos that you see in the YouTube vids a lot. And I found that most of the tools I was using, like Premiere Pro and stuff, they had not so great support for the idea. They were like, yo, if you want to animate a word, you need to take a picture of each single letter and make a damn GIF out of it. And I was like, nah, I'm just going to make something in Unity real quick. Spent 3 days on it instead of making the YouTube shorts that I was supposed to help out with my friend Breezy over here. Shame. Spent 3 days working on it. Showed it off today to Mark and Breeze, and they're like, yeah, Instagram and TikTok, they already got that. I was like, oh, damn. That was 3 days wasted instead of working on the shorts for Breezy.
Live and learn.
Oh, it's badass, man.
I mean, I think it's still dope that you actually able to like make it because I mean, like if TikTok and Instagram use it, I mean, it has to be like hundreds of million, $1 billion program, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, like the fact that you could make that shit in 3 days.
But I wasn't trying to humble brag, but even making it's not that great if it already exists and it's out there for free. That just means I didn't do my research properly.
Yeah, fair enough. But I mean, like, it's technically not free because you can only use it within the confines of the app. Allegedly. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if they have the program, if you can deconstruct it and take it from somewhere. But as far as I know, you can only use it within that.
Everything else I checked was paid. Except Veed, we might be able to try that. But
how do you spell that?
VEED.io.
Oh, yeah. So you're looking at numbers,
Video.
So, okay.
Yeah,
nice.
That's nice. That's nice.
I want to look that up.
Yeah, but no, that's badass, dude. So we could still use it. We still got time.
Yeah, I sure as hell am gonna use it. I'd spend all that friggin' time wasting and it's getting used.
Fair enough. I mean, you put enough effort into it. I mean, I can't get mad at you for wanting us to use it.
Yeah, that's fair.
How about you, Breeze? How was your week?
Oh man, I kind of wanted to avoid this because it's a little bit shitty because work's been crazy, but work's always crazy. Work's particularly crazy. But I gotta be real with y'all. I told y'all already last week we didn't get to record an episode last week because I lost a friend, a person I used to date, and got some news yesterday that made it even a little bit worse. She was killed. She was killed. She was killed, and I think that's all I'm gonna say about it. But yeah, she
Fair
was.
Enough. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, but it's really bad. But yeah, shitty week.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes good, sometimes it's bad.
Yeah, but glad to have you guys, and you guys gave me some good news today, which definitely raised my spirits, cheered me up.
Right, we had a couple drinks beforehand. You know what I'm saying? Feel a little saucy right now.
So
mimosas.
So I much appreciate the fellowship and time spent on the pod.
Yeah, man. I mean, when I talked to you guys about these guys before we started, whatever, I said I wanted to selfishly use it as a little bit of therapy, just get some stuff off my chest and excuse to hang out with the boys and just see what we can make of it, see what we can do. If we can be multi-billionaires, wearing our Versace robes every week while we do this, or we still wearing our regular garbs, chilling and killing and just talking shit like we are now. I'm okay either way. Yeah. But you guys are waiting for it, and you guys know what it is to really kick off the podcast. Who's out of pocket this week? I got an interesting story. The title is gonna take you for a loop, and this story takes you for another loop and a half. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I didn't attend my son's wedding. I instead spent the evening with his ex-wife. This is coming from dad of the son. Dad talking about his son.
Interesting.
Yeah, provocative.
Yeah, that's what the title caught me. I was, this is one of my toilet reads at work, so I was very invested. All right, quick backstory. After graduating high school, my son moved 3 states away for college. At 19, he married a girl he met. I tried to convince him to wait because I personally felt like he was too immature. They both dropped out. Moved back here to the hometown. At 20, they had their first child, a beautiful little girl. 16 months later, my daughter-in-law gave birth to their second child, a little boy. So 2 kids. The dude writing in is a dad talking about his son, daughter-in-law, and their 2 kids. Okay. After the first baby, my wife noticed that my daughter-in-law wasn't happy. We both thought it was postpartum related. But after the second son arrived, my son's second kid arrived, him and his wife separated. She would bring the kids over for a visit. It was like she began unloading on us. I know there are 2 sides to every story, but considering I know my son, I believed her. I sat my son down numerous times to speak to him regarding his marriage. He refused to take the responsibility, blamed her for everything, and when I directly pointed out where he was the sole problem. They got into counseling and for a year or so, and things were okay on the surface. Later on, our daughter-in-law filed for a divorce. My son, 3 days later, was on Facebook announcing his new girlfriend. Okay.
3 days.
3 days after she announced the divorce, right? A month later, they were engaged. My son had forced his then wife to become a permanent stay-at-home mom after the birth of their first child. She, of course, had no other family or friends here because remember, she moved from the state she was at to come back to his state to be with him and raise the kids and be a stay-at-home mom. She, of course, had She had nowhere else to go and 2 small children. Unbeknownst to our son, my wife and I had been helping her financially and got her an apartment. Just so, take care of the grandkids. Before the divorce was even finalized, we received a wedding invitation. I made it clear to my son that I would not be attending his wedding and they would not have my blessing. His mother told him that we would be able to attend. I stayed consistent in my decision. I also asked him not to bring his fiancée around our house out of respect for the mother of his children. The wedding happened on February 11th. The night before, my wife gave me the final push. I did not attend. Our daughter also did not attend for the same reason, so son's sister. My wife picked up our grandkids, got them dressed, and attended the wedding. My daughter and I decided to spend the evening with his ex. I couldn't imagine her sitting alone while her kids attending their father's wedding to the next chick, which remember, got announced 3 days after she filed for divorce.
Right.
She was taken aback that I didn't end up attending this wedding. We took her out to distract her mind, and I just wanted her to know she'll always be considered family to us. My daughter also made a joke that they can drop the in-law status and just be sisters now. She was very tearfully grateful. I realized just how badly she needed our support, and specifically on that night. The next morning, my son called me to tell me how much of a horrible father I was for not attending his wedding. A few days later, he caught wind that I spent his wedding evening with his ex. He said that was the ultimate form of betrayal, and that further, myself and his sister would have to earn a relationship back with him. Okay. Then he goes and says a little bit extra stuff, like extra details. First, I'd like to sincerely thank each and every one of us. That's just him talking about thanking for the people that he talked to on there. So what do you guys think?
I think it's honestly a heartwarming tale. Like it's wholesome. It's super wholesome. The dad just, I kind of miss people like that. Like I remember in my 20s, like, you know, there was a lot of people that just like cared about people and would just, you know, even if it was weird, they just be there for that person. It just sounds like the dad was doing that for
it's just his mother's grandkids, you know? It's like, you know, my son's a piece of shit. I know he's a piece of shit. He did a shitty thing, but I don't want you to feel bad because he did something fucked up.
Yeah. Dad treated her like a second daughter. And that's what you do for family, right?
Yeah.
That's what you do for family. Hear that, son?
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, when I read it the first time, I had to reread it because I was like, so she filed for divorce. 3 days later, he had a new girlfriend on Facebook, and a month later, they were getting married. And I'm just like,
the timeline.
That timeline is real shady. After you forced her to be a stay-at-home mom, after you had your first kid, you forced her to move back. I don't want to say forced her. You know, you guys decided to move back to your hometown to be closer to your family. She becomes a stay-at-home mom to take care of the kids at home. And you just out laying pipe somewhere else.
Apparently, had one in the back chamber, huh, son? Just...
Yeah, honestly, I would say this is a little bit controversial. I would say everybody's in the right. Even the son's kind of in the right because even though he's kind of entitled with it, like, oh, you guys have to earn my respect, my love.
It may take a while for that.
But even then, I mean, like, it's weird. So if I was in his position, maybe I would think about that too. My dad and my ex just spent time together and didn't come to my wedding.
His sister.
And his sister. The sister kind of changes things a little bit, but still, it's kind of justified. It's like, you know, Dad, you should have been here for me, but you weren't. So
I actually want to know though his new wife's point of view, like how much she knew about this. You know, how much information she had. Because I mean, for all we know, she could have just been like, you know, didn't know he had. She could know he had kids, but like not knowing that he had like, you know, a whole nother woman, a whole nother life, whatever. Because it's like, I don't want to say it's hard to believe, but it's kind of messed up to think that, like, you know, a chick would just be like, yeah, you know, like, I know you got a wife and kid at home, but, like, you know, we can do our thing or whatever and get married a week later.
It's not hard to believe.
I know. I mean,
not at all. It could be 50-50. It could be, like, what you said, or it could be, she could be the vector that all this is happening. You know? So.
I don't know. Apparently, they were having the problems, like, at least a year or two before then. They were in therapy for like a year?
Yeah, she said they were in therapy for a little bit beforehand with that wife. But I mean, I'm talking about the new wife. I want to hear her side of things, like how she got into the story. Like, did she pursue him? Did he pursue her? Like, you know, did she know about his family, his kid, or whatever?
No, go ahead. I'm gonna say the dad didn't seem to see it prudent to add her in, so she may just actually be innocent. Nah, I'm not gonna put that there. He may have just seen fit to not include her in there and see more of it as the son's dirty dealings. Yeah,
and I appreciate the dad too, because he gave an honest, like, well, I mean, allegedly, you know, we don't know the facts, but like he gave an honest, like, rendition of the story. He's like, you know, I know my son made some bad decisions, you know, and this is what I did. So like he didn't, I don't want to say he villainized himself, but he told him, he shared that, like, you know, this is what I did in the situation. This is what my son did. Like, you know, this is how I reacted.
This is the dad's story?
Yeah, this whole thing was from the dad's point of view.
That might change things a little bit. You know?
I mean,
it's one side of the story.
You know, from the information provided, it sounds like this son is the type of man who can divorce a girl and, separate from a girl, start for divorce, and have a girlfriend 3 days later.
It does, but to play devil's advocate, that does make the perfect story for dad to go ahead and clap some cheeks. You know,
allegedly, I mean, you know, if we go with that storyline, but I mean, given what it says, and like the fact that his wife tried to convince him to go to the wedding too, he didn't say no, because, like, you know, mom wants to be like the peace, you know, genuinely, you know, mom wants to be the peacekeeper, make sure everything smooths over, like, no matter what the situation is, and she's like, hey, you know, you sure you don't want to go even the night before the wedding? But like, he says no, and I'm like, you know,
we just don't like it, son. super devil's advocate.
I mean, he did say at the beginning, he was like, "Yeah, I know my son. He's pretty much an asshole." And I was just like, "Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I mean, you should be able to." I appreciate people that are able to tell that shit about their kids.
Yeah,
because it's like, even kids, like actual kids, like some kids are just dicks, and like just need to be able to say that your kid's a dick. Like, just understand that. Either be a better parent or figure out why your kid's being a dick and do something about it. Because if not, like, kids can be dicks, or they grow up to be dicks.
No, I honestly like the dad. Because it takes a lot to kind of ignore societal, programming, societal expectations.
Right.
And that the societal expectation would be to go to your son, support blood over, person who isn't blood, honestly. But he saw the person who needed more than his son needed at that moment. And he was there for the person that he considers family, which is, and for him to even say that is spectacular.
Right, yeah. I mean, I feel I've always been in that same camp too. Like, blood is blood, but it's like, the people that you spend, like, that you lose blood, sweat, you share blood, sweat, and tears with. Those are the people that are your family. Because they always say you can't choose family. Like, I genuinely believe that, because I feel like the people that, like, come into your life and the people that stay in your life, you didn't choose them. Like, it was, you want to say it was the stars, you want to say it was God, you want to say whoever or whatever it was. Like, you meet certain people for certain reasons. And the people that stick around, they stick around for reasons.
I would agree.
All right. Yeah. So now we're going to take a weird twist. I got a wild ass question for y'all. I saw this on the interwebs. It's like, all right, you got three places to live. You got to pick one, and why? For the rest of your life. Should I live on a boat, live on an island, or live in the mountains? And I kind of got an idea of what I think you guys would pick.
Oh, yeah, you know what I'm going to pick.
You want to go first, Breeze?
Yeah, the mountains.
100%. I knew you was going to pick the mountains.
Yeah. The why, it's remote, it's away from people, nature, typically. And just that, for me, like, it's the whole... It's the whole, like, ideal of, like, being a wild mountain man training in the mountains. Having a little cabin and, like, fucking doing martial arts training underneath a waterfall. That sort of wild, crazy. But no, the mountains in general was just, like, a really... I think that compared to an island, too, it's, like, tropical storms and stuff like that. It's a lot. Whereas mountain is, like, pretty straightforward.
I mean, mountains get the blizzards, though.
I mean, it depends on, like,
the blizzards.
True.
It didn't specify, like, are you, like, Mount Everest mountain, or are you just, like, I don't know, where's, like, a warm mountain?
Himalayas? Oh, you
Himalayas,
said
like, warm? Because, I mean, it's like, some mountains are, like, because, I mean, what is the definition of a mountain? Like, when does a hill become a mountain? You know what I mean? Because, like, you can still be, like, low enough to sea level where it's, like, not tropical, but, like, kind of warm. You don't have to worry about, like, avalanches, snowstorms.
I think about that.
Or it could be, like, on the top of Everest where you gotta, like, strap your balls up because you don't freeze to death.
Yeah, I do like maybe Andes or something like that. That'd be cool, like South. Or is Andes Central or South America? I always forget. Wherever the Andes are.
I'm not a geography.
That'd be okay.
You know who I have for geography.
We had the same teacher.
Did not do well in that class.
Me neither. Did you also have a teacher?
No.
Okay.
Actually, I don't think I ever had a geography class.
You didn't have what we had.
I think I'm outing myself here. What's a Europe? No, I'm just joking.
Hey man, you can't say that, man. We got alleged fans in Europe.
Yeah, shout out to our fan in Brussels, man.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah.
We got a couple downloads from you. Or bro, or brah.
Bro, yeah, either way, yeah. Thank you so much.
Shout out to Brussels.
Shout out to
everyone. We got a couple downloads. We got a few people listening that aren't friends and family. So, we appreciate you guys. You're growing our... I don't know what our fandom would be called, You're growing and you're helping, and we love you, and we appreciate you for that.
Parasocial here. So, living on
got a boat, a mountain, or an island?
So, when you talk about on a boat, right? That means I can just go anywhere. I'm not worried about running out of gas or nothing, and just end up on the.
Well, I'll say this: you can dock places. So let's say you got a day. You can dock places, restock on supplies, but you cannot, be anywhere else. You still have to live on said boat.
Bruh, I'm going to be the king of the pirates. You can't possibly give a different answer, though, Mr. One Piece, right? That you're going to be up in there, King of the Pirates too, right?
I was going to say the island.
I saw that too, yeah.
I was going to say the island.
This is a pretty good spread of different answers. But
I didn't think you want to pick the boat, to be honest, though.
Dude, I can go anywhere.
Anywhere.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's like living in a car that doesn't, make you look poor.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
No, when you said that, I thought about 2000 Leagues Under the Sea. I read that like a while back. And that was Captain Nemo. He was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, Captain Nemo was a badass.
Yeah.
I read the Cliff Notes.
Oh, I actually I haven't read anything about, I've never read that book.
Oh, you should read about it. It's good. It's really good.
You did make a good point about tropical storms. That's a danger. That's a real danger. But I guess you can't really stay away from whatever. Anyway, being on the boat.
Ultimate freedom.
Awesome. Yeah. Ultimate freedom. Mm-hmm. Go anywhere. Hopefully this is the sort of liner that can, cross the ocean too. Yeah. Because if so,
you're not in a rowboat. You're in like a legit. I wouldn't say you're in a yacht, you know what I mean? But you're in like a functional ocean craft.
All right. That's cool. That's cool just on its own, The sea's bounty is always there. You're never wanting for food, oddly enough. Hopefully you won't be wanting for water, even though it's all around you,
Yeah, I mean, water everywhere. Distill the salt water and stuff to make it, I was about to say edible, but drinkable.
A lot of citrus.
Keep that citrus.
Keep that scurvy away.
And is a lot of solitude, too. Yeah. So, everything about boat, good for me.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, boat was my second option. I kept tossing up island and mountain, but then I was just like, bears.
Bears.
I'm
Train enough, you don't have to worry about those.
I mean, if I do enough waterfall training and, kung fu. But the thing, too, is like, if I was to go into the mountains, I would want a trainer or like a sensei or somebody there. Because I mean, like, I could be trying to do kung fu in the mountains, but if it's my dumb ass just doing the kung fu I learned off the internet, I'm going to get clapped up by a bear on day 2. But that's why I like that. I like the idea. For me, I like the idea of the mountain because it's kind of like a half-ass version of both of them. You know what I mean? Because it's like you get the bounty of the sea. You can get that stuff from the sea. Like, and I'm assuming that somewhere on the island has like fresh water and stuff I have to worry about. And then like you get the solitude and everything. And I mean, like, it's just essentially it should be like warm year round.
Fair enough.
And I don't mean don't know how remote this island is, but might see some people. Drive by on a boat or whatever. Come hang out for a little bit.
Yeah.
Keep it going.
I'll come visit you every so often.
Yeah. In my idea, all 3 of them, lonely as fuck. I didn't see people there.
I know you didn't.
I know you didn't. I didn't know there were people in these scenarios.
Wait, are there people in these scenarios?
I mean, it's whatever we imagine.
Yeah, it's whatever you imagine. It's however your brain works. I knew yours didn't have any people. Like none.
For me, the island was just Castaway. It was just me and Wilson on it. So it wasn't going to work.
So speaking of that, I saw Mr. Beast video the other day, and it was this guy. He had some type of, I want to say $1 million or whatever sum of money it was, but he had to live in his house by himself for, I want to say 180 days.
Easy.
Yeah,
Easy.
But the kicker
that was my 2020.
Yeah, but the kicker was that they took something away from him every week. So like imagine like your house as it is now. But like something is taken out every week. So like 1 week was like the TV. The other week was like a computer. Then it was like he never had a phone or anything. But it was like just one thing got lost every week. And then a couple times they offered him like, I think at the end of every month they offered him to like just like a $250,000 or like 500K or whatever, just to like quit right then and there. Or he can get like the whatever million it was at the end of it.
All right. So I'm gonna just come out and say, like, I haven't seen the video, so shout outs to Mr. Beast, but if this is just like solitary confinement with extra foreplay, that's like a whole different thing, right? Because if you keep taking something away and you're trying to make an entertaining video, eventually he's just going to end up in there just with nothing but his thoughts and like perhaps his dick in his hand.
Yeah. So what they did was at the end of it. So the last couple weeks, couple days, whatever. They did they put stereos all around the house and
don't do the Metallica thing.
Yeah.
Oh, they did the Metallica thing.
Just blasted music at random ass times for
why?
Just to mess with them. Just to mess with them. And then some point they tore down half of that. Tore down pieces of the house. They just knocked down parts of the house.
Bruh, didn't they decide that was a war crime back in the Vietnam War or Korea War? Which war was it that they were blasting Metallica for 24/7? And it was
I remember it was on an episode of Jackass.
I remember that because I also remember it was in the documentary Waco because they did it they did it there too, where they were trying to force him out, so they blasted music at weird ass times to get him to come out, and it was it's a known torture device.
Yes, sleep deprivation is a known torture, and that damn TikTok ad has taught me anything is that audio torture is real. Just have that dog slurping in your ear 24/7. That's torture. They did that, man. That's actually been used a lot throughout the history as, like you say, a torture. And let me just cut it off here. I hope the video was entertaining enough to be worth it.
I hope he got the money too.
He did. He made it through the end. He got the money. And every time they asked him if he wanted to quit, he was like, "Nah." Then the kicker was the 1 month. I think it was it was almost end of 2 weeks. They pretty much said they would give him 3/4 of the money if he would see his girlfriend right now. And he went through some psychological dances or whatever, and he was just he eventually said no. And he was his reasoning was she knows why I'm here. She knows what I'm here for. And we're going to use this money to start our lives, have a family, get married, do all of these things, whatever. So it was she understands why I'm here. So it's okay. She was on so they had the house. They had a little studio on the other side of it with the double glass wall. So she was over there and she saw him or whatever, and she's oh, he loves me. He wants to do this for us. So it was a touching video. They had some real fucked up moments. Yeah, but it was just from the producers. What was he left with in the end? Did he have just nothing at all, or did he have? So the last thing he had was this guitar, and Mr. Beast was he predicted that he was just lose his mind and break the guitar, so he put a check in the guitar for $200K. I think it was $200K, $250K, bonus, just completely separate. So the dude one day he just lost his mind, and he just he was mad and just just thinking about everything, whatever. He just took the guitar, just and then just wood shatters, just crap everywhere. And he just yeah, what's that? He's is that a check? Is that a check? And he's looking or whatever. And then Mr. Beast and his studio come in yeah, that's the check. That's yours. He was just we figured that at some point you will lose your mind and break it. So we want to give you a little extra incentive. Big brain play. He was there for how long? I think it was 3 months. 3 months. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it was 3 months. 90 days. Huh. Could you guys handle 90 days?
90 days?
Of that.
90 days solitary confinement with random audio torture?
Yeah. The random audio torture wasn't the whole time. It was only
that's what makes it random.
Last, it was only the last 2 or 3 weeks or so. I think I could do it.
I
mean, for money. My scruples are few, but open for sale.
Yeah, because the more and more I was watching the video, because I was just I don't have to go to work. I don't have to worry about anything. I really don't have to worry about anything. So I'm
well, but that's the challenge, to be idle with just you and your thoughts.
Yeah. It doesn't work out that well in jail, in a solitary confinement.
Yeah. So, but I mean, the house, when you compare it to jail, the other side of that is you have an entire house. You do have warmth, except when they tore down the house, the tore down part of the house, at the end of it. It was so you're not worried about too hot or too cold or whatever. You have food, you have water, you have he had books at some point, then they took the books away. I feel it was enough stuff to do up until a certain point.
Yeah.
Whereas you're not really alone with your thoughts until the last little bit of it. And after that, it's just
Man.
After this, I don't have to work ever again in my life. And I think that's enough motivation for me to just be like,
man,
to be cool. Because I hate work.
Yeah.
Nothing I hate more in this world than going to my job.
Yeah.
So it's like, if I have to go to my job, and like, no physical torture or physical harm, it's literally just me sitting in a room / house with random shit to do that's taken away from me.
I'm telling you, that was my 2020, and it was a vacation.
But you had books and writings, and
I did, and I was making videos for YouTube and doing all types of fun stuff.
Exactly. You got to remember, in this case, you have a big brother watching you through the camera, looking for anything that you do as a matter of coping so that they can take it away.
But just like he said, there's like enough stuff there. Like for me, I was writing books, I was reading the encyclopedia, I was drawing, I was making videos for YouTube.
Take all that away.
But slowly, like one by one. So if it gets to like the last month and everything's going by like 2 things, I can handle that just fine.
And I also want to give you guys a good point too. We all grew up poor.
Yeah.
So what difference would that be? Realistically.
For me, all I need is just a stack of papers and a pencil, and I'll be all right for the entire 3 months.
Same.
But like you said, well, if Big Brother sees that you're coping in any way, that's what gets taken away next.
Yeah. And eventually, calisthenics and meditations, that's all right with me too. If I can get in shape and get my mind right, great.
And then they take the food away.
I don't think legally you can do that.
and turn the heat off. No electricity.
Yeah, you know how.
I mean, I just playing hard mode.
Okay.
Now you just playing a hard mode. But I thought it was interesting because it was one of the videos I didn't even seek out because like I don't even subscribe to Mr. Beast on YouTube. It just popped up on like just random feed. I think I want to say it's on Facebook. It just popped up and I was like, yeah, you know what? I got nothing to do for like 15 minutes or whatever. So I'll check out a video.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't really watch none of the YouTube, the bigger YouTubers. I think PewDiePie was the only one I kind of used to watch, and that wasn't a lot.
I still watch Markiplier.
Yeah, so
it's fairly entertaining.
I have an interesting relationship with Markiplier. So like I like the games he does because he usually does like the horror games, and like I like to watch them because a lot of the horror games like I just don't like playing because any horror game where you can't actually play the game, I mean where you're just wandering through the game, you can't actually do anything. I have no interest in playing those because I'm like because I always put myself in that situation. I was like, no matter how effed up the situation is, I'm gonna pick up a rock, a baseball bat, a something. So it's like the Outlast games or whatever. Like I find them extremely interesting, but it's like I couldn't find myself playing a game where I just have to run and hide all the time. But they're cool to watch. So I like Markiplier, but Markiplier's voice is the most annoying thing.
Oh man,
I think his voice is super annoying.
Damn.
Because he has these, like, I guess, for me personally, like, I prefer a monotone voice for, like, long content. Mm-hmm. Or, like, not even necessarily monotone, but, like, within certain octaves or whatever you want to call it. But, like, Markiplier has this, like, squeals and screeches that he does.
Gotcha.
And then I feel like, too, like, for gameplay videos, I think he talks too much.
Yeah.
Like, I don't dislike him as a person or, like, even as a YouTuber. I just think a lot of his videos is, like, play the silence or play the, what they call in music? Like, play the pause. Gotcha. Like, sometimes you can stop talking and it's for 30 seconds or 5 seconds and it's cool. And I can't be mad at him because, like, whatever he's doing is working.
That's why his audience is so big, I think, because of that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just one of the things. It's just a couple things that, like, I don't personally like him, but I am one out of 15,000 billion trillion followers. Yeah, something like
that. They're typically mostly younger, I think, but still.
That's funny. I actually really like his announcer voices. He's got a very, like you said, he's got a range. He's got the high voices that he does in, excited states, but he also has a very smooth tenor. Voice. And that's the part I like. It's just like
that's the one the ladies like.
The other ones always catch me off guard, and I'm just like, bro. And then it's just like I feel like you have too much of a good thing. Like I said, I just think he just talks way too much in his gameplay videos. Because I mean, a lot of things too is like if you're playing a game and like I get it. If you're streaming, you're supposed to explain what you're doing, like what's happening, whatever. But it's like at a certain point, it's like I guess in my mind, you have to assume that your audience kind of understands what's happening, so you don't need to explain everything in certain detail. But again, that's just like my personal.
Was different. When it comes to that, it's different types of YouTubers. So Markiplier's like his stuff is for like a bigger, like a wider audience, and it is like they're kind of looking for that. They're looking I think his mindset when he's making that sort of stuff is I'm going to entertain these people with my personality. So that's why he injects as much his personality as possible. Whereas the people I like typically, they are exactly what you're talking about, but they're smaller. I won't call them niche, but they're smaller. I would say.
True. I do come to Markiplier for the Markiplier.
Oh, facts. Yeah.
That's why he does, the variety streams that he does, variety games that he does. It's really difficult to commentate a game blind all the way through.
That is a talent.
It was surprisingly hard. It's like, geez, wow, running commentaries hard.
Yeah,
it's fun though.
I mean,
I'm gonna try it someday.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's always Minecraft and get to those 1,000. When you hit that goal. Oh, by the way, after a certain point in our slightly less than perfect careers, I've got these guys to agree after you hit a certain milestone, they're gonna play Minecraft for the first time. They've been holding out on me since 2010.
I ain't agreed to nothing.
I'm gonna get them to do it. Don't worry.
Nothing.
I did agree. Reluctantly.
He did agree.
Reluctantly.
That's all
I remember. 2/3 vote.
Company policy.
Yes.
2/3 of y'all playing that shit.
It's unanimous, Breezy. You have no choice. What were we talking about before?
We're I think we're at the end of whatever we were talking about.
Crap.
Kind of riffing.
Yeah, pretty much just Markiplier and just YouTube in general.
But yeah. I like him. I always have liked him.
Yeah, I like him. He's not like necessarily my cup of tea, but some certain times I pop in and see what he's up to, and but I do like what Mark's talking about, like the more analytical, know when to shut up YouTubers. But
and it's like realistic. Like if I could take a Markiplier video like as is, I would just take about like 20 to 30% of his talking out of it, and I would be completely fine with like the rest of it. Because I think he's a very talented individual. Like you said, like the commentating from a game raw is crazy. Because I mean, sometimes you just get like something, you see something in the game and like you just enjoy it, so you get that shock, that awe factor, and you just kind of like sit there and enjoy the moment. The ability to be able to like realize that and like speak through the emotions and stuff that you're feeling and like what's going on with the story, and then like what you're doing with the gameplay to progress the story. I mean, I think it's a talent.
He's a really good orator, for sure.
Yes,
100%.
very good.
Yeah, so I mean, like you can't knock the like you say, like the numbers are there, like the receipts are there. Like you can't knock the man with.
He has passion. He loves what he's doing.
Yes.
He loves the game he's playing, the games he plays. So it's all there. It's just preference at that point. When you're watching it.
And that's why I say like I still watch his stuff. I just pick and choose what I watch, because like no beef, nothing against the man, but it's just like sometimes I just want a different, want something a little different.
Really, what it comes down to, honestly, what I noticed with myself, it's kind of like the people who you would kind of hang out with. That's kind of when it comes to YouTubers.
Yeah.
Like stuff I watch is like people that I could like chat with for a long time about the technical aspects of games and that sort of stuff. So yeah, it really is a parasocial thing at a certain point.
Yeah, I realized that like not so long ago because like like I would have like not necessarily having conversations in my head, but like they'll say stuff and I'm like, oh, this is how I respond to whatever. And just like kind of go about my because like I'm not that far down in the deep end where like I need to respond to them. I'm just like, I would say this to whatever, and then I just go about my day. But one of the streamers I watch, the Dual Logs, we talked about him. Like he's a big Yu-Gi-Oh streamer, and like don't play the game anymore, but like it's a way for me to be in contact with the game and still like kind of care about it. And he was talking about like this stream that he had stumbled upon that somebody had told him about, and it was pretty much just this girl, and what she was I forget what they called it, but essentially she was like a girlfriend. She was a streamer, but she was like your girlfriend. So like people were just like do her little, what do you call them when you not the subscribes or whatever, but like pretty much her redeems. Her redeems would be like she was listening to your problems. and like say like, oh, she would just reply like, oh, that's so bad or whatever, but people still care about you, blah 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 blah, whatever. And he was like, I was there for like 10 minutes, but like it was just so sad because it was just like these dudes were like just talking about all their problems, or whatever, and like they didn't have anyone else to talk to, so they just like pay for these redeems for the streamer to talk about it. And I'm just like,
yeah.
But he brought up a good question though. He's just like, how does she feel afterward? And like my thought process was like the therapist aspect of it. It's like you're a therapist or like someone that's in that role of like helping people, whatever. It's like you hear all this fucked up shit all day long, whatever. It's like, what does it do to your own psyche? Or how would you differentiate that? Like, all right, I pose you guys a question. If you're a psychiatrist, right? Psychiatrist, psychologist, I mean, whichever one. 8 hours a day, you'll listen to people talk about whatever the fuck they did in their lives and trauma and all this stuff, whatever. How would you disassociate that from like work to still be able to try to have a functional, like normal life? I don't know if I can do it.
I hope that that's one of the things that you need to pass a bar for in getting your psychiatry or psychology. Psychiatry?
I have no.
Whatever.
Sure.
Your head talking degree. Because you'd have to look at it in a, like you said, disassociated way. You have to separate yourself from their problems. You got to think about it clinically when they bring these things to you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to carry all that baggage. Imagine there's lots of psychologists who have heard some really terrible, messed up things, and like I'm sure a lot of them have to just like stop sometimes, take breaks, take sabbaticals in order to keep themselves able to give out the help that they need without ending up needing the help themselves. I think I remember in some police detective book that I read that psychologists actually, like police psychologists, will often have to also schedule themselves sessions with police psychologists.
I was just gonna say that,
yeah. I mean, that's wild. Cause like I can only imagine like just being a fly on the wall, just like the stuff that you would hear between like, especially being a police psychologist, like just the stuff that they would deal with like on a day-to-day basis, and just like to unload on it, and then just be like, because I mean like just us like being who we are and the people in our lives, we didn't heard some crazy shit like people on the bus you talking to, or just like being somewhere waiting in line and just hearing some wild stuff, and that's not even like the whole story where it's like a therapist or they're getting like the meat and potatoes, like going back to age 5 all the way up to age 35 type shit.
Right. But just like a normal person running a stream, unless that person is also a psychologist, they need to be careful about their own state.
That was my thought process too when he was talking about it. He said, Dolox, he said something about it too, because he was just like, yeah, I don't know how she does that, because she streams regularly, and that's how like most of her redeems and stuff were like that. I was like, that's just wild.
There's a lot of people who do that. I mean, it's with streamers in general, but especially like the girlfriend streamers, the ASMR streamers. That's kind of their whole shtick, is like the quote unquote girlfriend experience. So I don't know. I think the decompression is more common than, because I think that's a natural state of humans anyway, is decompression.
Right.
Because just in general, just work to home, for the most part, we're able to decompress. But I think they don't really take a lot of that stuff with them. But that is an interesting question, because you can't decompress. Like, that's what you got, like a Harley Quinn Joker situation. Like,
I mean, because that's what it would evolve into, right?
Yeah. Which would.
I mean, we see how that goes. I mean, that's just not the. That's not the way I would like it.
That shit out of pocket.
That shit.
You're right. That shit is out of pocket. It was just interesting because it was a stream at like, I don't know, like 1 o'clock in the morning, and he was just talking shenanigans, and that just popped up, and I was just like, huh. So then I looked into it, like the girlfriend. I didn't realize the girlfriend type streams, whatever, were so big. So then like I was thinking like, are dudes really down this bad, or is it just like dudes just like want I don't want like a safe place to load off on. A safe place to unload, and not necessarily a safe place, just like a anonymous place to kind of like just unload some stuff.
There's a lot going on with the world right now. A lot that changed in just the last 5 years, let alone 10 years. Dynamics are crazy right now. Dynamics are super crazy, and dudes are down bad. In general, dudes are down fucking bad. I got sympathy. I got sympathy with dudes around the world. Just because the way the world is right now, like, it's, wages are kind of fucked.
Yeah, and like the demand for like income is like a necessity for dating these days.
Dating, yeah.
It's like, because like I saw this thing, it was like, girls, there's this girl podcast and they're talking about the 666 dudes. Yeah. 6 foot, 6 figures, and 6 inches, at least 6 inches. Yeah. You gotta have those 3 requirements.
Or 6-pack abs.
Or 6-pack abs, yeah. And I was just like, wow.
I mean, a lot of this stuff online is overblown because people be throwing out statistics left and right. People still do have normal relationships. An average girl can be the average guy and they can live a happy life. But this whole social media thing glamorizing like these certain, certain aspect, it really is getting to people. And it really is like discouraging guys out here like, damn, like, do women really want all this stuff? Like, I'm just a normal guy. Like, I can't compete.
Man, my response to that is like, well, I'm going to say like we said, like, I think we pretty much said it on every episode, man, shoot your shot. Because, the thing about it is like, she says no, keep it moving, bro. It's a million other girls out there, bro. Like, and I get it, like, if no one wants to be rejected, that feeling or whatever, but I'm like, if 30 girls reject you and one girl say yes, you still smashed, you know what I mean? Like, you still got that one under your belt and just keep it moving.
Yeah, but there's still that whole, like, talking point of, like, so, like, 80% of the women, like, want 20% of the guys. Like, that, I don't know if that's true. I hear that around, but, like, there's like, 20% of the guys in the U.S. just smashing everybody. And, like, 80% of the guys, like, almost not smashing at all.
Then my thing to that is, like, change the mindset. It's like, what do I need to be that 20%?
Yeah, you gotta transform yourself. But then it comes, like, it goes back to I'm not good enough, as is. Yeah. It always goes back to, like, I gotta improve. I have to have something to be valuable. So that's why, like, I sympathize with, like, most dudes. It's like, we do want to be better, but it's like, fuck, like, you can't just be good as is. Like, nobody's gonna care about you as is. Like, that's kind of fucked up,
Yeah, that is. I guess I've always had a mentality, like, don't get me wrong, I've had my days where, like, I've doubted myself and doubted, like, who I am and, like, what I want to be. But, like, most days I bounce back, or, like, eventually I bounce back to, like, I need to be better, but, like, I need to be better for me, you know? And then, like, whatever else happens, like, whatever opportunities or whatever happens after that, I did initially what I did is, like, for me. And it goes for anybody that's listening too. Like, if you want to improve yourself for whatever reason, never do it for anyone else. Like, always do it for you. Because at the end of the day, the only person that you can fight against is yourself. Yeah. Like, look at the man in the mirror, the woman in the mirror, whoever you are in the mirror, and it's like, if you can be. I guess the way I see it is like, I want to be the person that I thought I would be as a kid. As a sense, like, I wanted to be like this cool, like, badass guy. And it's like, I've morphed that now into, like, I want to be the ideal man for Emma. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be, like, when she goes and dates, like, I don't even know if she's going to date guys or whatever, but, like, I want to be, like, her ideal of what a partner should be. Like, someone that's loving, someone that's caring, someone that's strong and passionate or whatever. And it's like, so I live my life now, like, trying to be, like, the best version of myself so she can see the best version of me so that she knows it's okay to be herself. It's like, whoever she has around is like her, and that's why, like, I like her being around you guys whenever, so she can see, like, people that are, like, I care about, people that care about me, see how we interact, and see how things see how things are supposed to be, like, how friends are supposed to take care of each other and, like, treat each other, so that she has an understanding of, like, what she need to look for in life, and I think people, the problem with, like, the dudes that's down bad or whatever, they just need real friends, and I get it, it's a self-isolation, like, type world, and it has been for a couple of years, but it's like, you need real friends. Like, people that are going to tell you, like, nah, bro, that shit's fucked up, or no, that's ugly, or no, you need to jump faster, swim faster, you know, jump higher, you know, like those things. Like, you need people like that in your corner to tell you, like, what you, not necessarily what you should do, but like positive feedback on, like, you know, and things that, like, to actually help you better yourself. Because, like, a lot of dudes either, because I feel like a lot of people either have no one or they have a bunch of yes men. And it's like both of those are super toxic for two totally separate reasons.
Yeah. It can be hard when you get older to make new friends if you didn't get used to doing that when you were younger. But you got to remember, the worst thing that someone can tell you is no. So if you are, you know, out there looking for someone, you know, you don't have friends, you don't have a lover, just take that energy and try to turn it into something that you can use to become that person who can, you know, get that lover, make those friends. It's just, you gotta take that and you go out and just try, you know, try to do it, try to better yourself. Like, I see a lot of online, one big tip that women give to men who are trying to find a lover, and this is gonna sound super shallow, but just get jacked. Just like, get swole as hell.
Yeah.
It's like, even if you can't do anything else, there is a very good portion of women out there who just like muscular men.
Facts. But in the two, though, like, the scientific aspect of that too is, like, as men, like, as you get more muscular, you produce more testosterone. It produces more confidence as your self-will. Like, you know, don't get me wrong, some of it might be a false sense of confidence, but at the same time, though, it's just like,
any confidence is real confidence.
All you need is 1% confidence. Yeah. Like, you can just, you know, you can get the rest of it. And like I said, your chances with girls are never 0%. You know, it's how you play the game. It's what you do and how you play it. I mean, getting jacked just increases your chances.
Yeah, believe me, first time you make that bicep and you see real gains, you'll want to keep doing it.
Facts. That's why I said the gym challenge, bro. We own it. Next year, when we get 1 year podcast, I'm sitting here in a crop top hoodie and hoochie daddy shorts.
I'm gonna just be honest, man. I'm gonna steal a march on all y'all. I've been going since October once I moved over to Breezy. So
that's
I'm just
true.
like, you know,
I'll
show you guys. Oh, no, okay. Wait till I take this shirt off. You ain't gonna be able to see nothing under the fat, but know that there is muscle there.
That's the important thing, man.
I ain't got a visible 6-pack, but I got a 6-pack somewhere in there.
No, that shit's important. That's what I want to do. I want the strength.
Yeah, the strength is more important at the end of the day.
Strength. And the endurance. My endurance is pretty bad.
Yeah, that's what I want. Yeah,
I need to get
that's
some cardio going.
If I'm gonna be low key though, I want to run a 5K.
Me too.
Like, I want to competitively run a 5K. Like, you know, I'm not saying I want to get, like, immediately get first place, but I do want to consistently run some 5Ks.
I just want to complete one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And, like, I had a friend that she did some races, and, like, she was doing, like, half marathons and whatever.
Like Tough Mudder and stuff.
Tough Mudder and, like, all that shit. Like, she legit
do that stuff.
Did, like, all those. But she was, like, ex-Navy. So she was just like, she's just jacked. She's just jacked in general. Badass. Just badass. And she did, like, the Tough Mudder, like, the half marathons or whatever, and, like, you know, working out, like, 18 days a week type deal or whatever. And it's like, I don't want to be like her. She doing, her and her husband do the absolute most. But I do want a little taste of that world, though. Because, I mean, like, competitiveness in me wants to do it, but that's what I said I want us to.
Competitive is good.
Competitive, because I mean, like, healthy competition always it works for all the anime bros, man. So I gotta work, right? Gotta work.
Yeah. So this whole competitive thing, right? It's not gonna be like endurance competitive, right? We're gonna be like going for straight maximum weight lift, right?
I say we do the whole like we should get the whole pentagon like they do in an RPG. We just
for balance.
Just get the whole thing.
Like Gimli said, you know, I'm more of a sprinter than a long distance runner, right? You know.
Well, I am too as of right now. I can sprint, but like I can't do long distance. But I do, like Breezy said, like I want to get more endurance. I want to get more strength, and like I generally just want to live a more healthy life. To be honest,
yeah.
But
same.
selfishly, I realize I won't do it unless I can possibly beat other people at doing it.
That's very honest.
Fair enough.
Scumbag.
I mean, it's just because I'm just a competitive person and like winning stuff. And if I can't win stuff, I lose stuff. That makes me want to win better. So like, it's really no.
That's why I won't play you in Pokemon.
But I have a challenge for you in Pokemon though, because remember back when we were kids, I couldn't play 2D fighters, but I played 2D fighters, and so I can compete with you guys.
You did. You and Will. Very, very proud of you guys.
I couldn't do a Hadouken, bro. I couldn't do down forward punch. Yeah. It was a time I couldn't do down forward punch. So if I could play you guys in 2D fighters, you play me in Pokemon.
Damn, he just turned that shit back on you.
About that. I already got him to agree to play in Minecraft. So I don't have anything to get out of this.
No recourse.
No back leg to stand on.
What challenge is this?
Oh, we just do random matches.
I thought you was gonna say Nuzlocke.
No, I don't want to do.
What's wrong, man?
I personally never does. I'm just saying, I personally never done a Nuzlocke. I would like to, but I wouldn't. I would need to play. Needed to be in a game that I'm comfortable with. Because I mean, I know it's the randomizers and all that stuff, whatever. But like, I would need it to be in like a Pokemon game that I'm comfortable with, at least, so I at least have the basis of it. But like, I wouldn't necessarily mind not doing a Nuzlocke, but I wouldn't do the super hard Nuzlocks that like a lot of the YouTubers do. I would do like a weak sauce version of it, where like, you know, not necessarily like you can't catch more Pokemon after in certain areas, or like, you know. Yeah, I don't know. Which is whatever. I would tweak some of the rules to make it like easier the first couple of times, and like as I get better at the Nuzlocke, then I will go with like the whole.
You just start with like permadeath or something like that.
Yeah, and you know I can keep catching more Pokemon, whatever in the area, but like wouldn't do the whole like, you know, once your team's gone, you're gone. Like I would continue to catch Pokemon, but like eventually I would like to get to that point where I can do those. No, what I meant though is just like we just do battles. You know, we just give ourselves like weird rules, like. You know, you can only use rock types, or you can only use, like, you know, just stuff like that.
Joe Pokemon log, watching ads, and don't just suddenly pull out some super high tier meta Pokemon picks. Like, yo, I'm gonna whoop your ass with this Ghastly. I know you saw that video.
I did.
Ghastly and competitive Pokemon.
Well, the thing, though, is that, like, the competitive for Scarlet and Violet isn't broken yet.
Now, the fact that you know that is also worrying, Mark.
It's not broken yet because it's like it just started. Like Scarlet and Violet came out in November, and it's what, February now? So it's only been 4 months. It's only been 2 tournaments. Because actually, I was going to talk to you guys about it too. My boy I work with, he's actually going to the next tournament in April. It's in Indianapolis. I don't know what it's called. I'm not going to lie. But he wants to do that tournament, and I was like, I'm down. Like I'm not going. No, I'm not gonna go with him. But like I told him I wanted to get the information and talk to him about it because I was like, I just wouldn't be able to go right now with just during the school year with self and just not feasible. But I was like, if it's one in the summer, I would be down to like go for the experience. Because his goal is to go. He said my goal isn't to win when I go there. My goal is just to not lose every game and to like taking experience and taking as much information I can. And I was just like, I think that's a pretty good goal for like the first tournament because he's going in raw. Like doesn't, you know, it's a new meta game. Like he doesn't know, he hasn't been to any tournaments previously or anything. He just like really just trying to go into it like pretty much super fresh. So that's partially the reason why I want you to start playing. Like, I want to get somebody to... I mean, I'll be honest. I'm just going to be honest about it. Like, you know, I want to get somebody else that could... So if I could possibly drag someone along with me to go. Okay. Plus, I know how competitive you are, too. So once you get going, if I beat you a couple times, you won't take that sitting down.
Bruh, I lost the will. And I was like, all right, this is good. I'm done here. Because I was like, you know, I could... The reason I stopped after I lost the will is because of what he damn did to get to the point to actually be able to beat me. He got from level 20 to level 60 in a week. By just farming at some random place. He didn't tell me where. And I got from level 20 to level I got from like level 25 to level 30 in the same week because I couldn't be fucked to play the game.
So he was doing that. He was watching YouTube videos and he was asking me for information.
You were offering him information. He didn't ask you for shit. You were
I
just
offered
like,
him some nuggets, but he was asking about certain Pokemon. He was like, "Is this Pokemon? Like,
Pokemon? Let me just look up all his stats. Oh, is he a 5'10" trash? Get another one." I was like, dude, he didn't even ask you for all that, man.
But he was like sending me messages on Facebook too, like, "What's this thing?" And I was like, "Oh, it's this."
Apparently, there was also a traitor in my house. So he also went around and got someone very close to me behind my back. It's backstabbing.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I knew nothing about. That the court of the internet. No, I knew nothing about this.
Oh yeah,
I was just trying to play innocent game with my bros. You know what I'm saying?
No, it had to be reversed, man, because Ryan kicked his. Well, that was Will's fault.
Into
he
my
did. That was
fist.
his fault. It was his fault.
I told him not to, and he just wouldn't let it go.
But I will say this though, like I did actually enjoy this Pokemon game. Like, you know, it was the last generation too, like Gen 8 and Gen 9, like currently Gen 9. Like I'm actually enjoying playing the game. Like I wouldn't mind continue playing it, but I would need a reason to continue playing it. So that's why, like, when my boy was telling me about like the tournaments and stuff, I'm like, that's cool. And like you were playing it too, so I was like, you know, I like to play it, but it's not really like, I know you can play online with people and like do the verses online, but I would like to have a home base type of deal first, and then like kind of expand out and see what happens. But you know,
I finished playing Hades, or at least I played Hades enough to have a family reunion in Hades.
Fair enough.
And so I'm kind of done with that because they're like, you know, okay, now beat the game another 20 times. I'm like, I'm okay with that. Yeah, I got my mom's. I'm gonna just go now. And to be honest, I am still playing Elden Ring because me and Millennia have a little unfinished business. Last time I played through the game, there was this one. I couldn't beat Sephiroth. Let me put it that way.
Fair enough.
I couldn't beat Sephiroth. Beat the game, but I couldn't beat Sephiroth. And I was like, you know what? I'm recovering from COVID right now. I'm recovering from spicy cough right now. I'm going to just put the game down. And I erased my file. And once I did that, I immediately regretted not killing Sephiroth first. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to fight Sephiroth this many times. Erase my file. Immediate regret. I have to kill him. So I started playing through the whole game all over again. But say all that to say, I will go ahead, finish Scarlet, and get more into the meta of Pokemon for you.
This will be so enjoyable.
A video game just because you asked me to.
Oh yeah, I'll be there. I ain't playing.
Yeah.
I ain't playing. But I'll be there to watch you play. What you doing in there, bro?
To be fair though, I'm literally like at the very tip of like the metagame. I know the bare minimum. The bare minimum.
You know, when you like have the bare minimum of Pokemon experience with the new game, right? But you also have 25 years of completed Pokedexes.
Listen,
for previous games.
I've only completed, I've completed 4 out of 9 Pokedexes. That's less than 50%.
I've completed 0.
Yes, I am 0.
Most people in the world have completed 0. That still puts you in like the top 3% of Pokemon players.
I don't believe that. We're gonna get the stats on that and let you guys know, because I don't.
I'm pretty sure that's accurate. We're close to it. I think that's pretty close.
Top 3% for 4 out of 9.
You know, like
Because of
Pokemon
Gen 1, 2, 3, and 9.
It'd be really easy to check this if they did achievements back then, but you know, they don't. But
yeah, I'm sure it's on Reddit somewhere. Cool. But before we wrap this up today, I want to talk about our last segment that me and the boys talked about it earlier last week, I want to say. We're gonna call it Retro Rewind, where we're gonna look at like movies from like the past that are like allegedly certified bangers, and we're going to be the ones to like decide if they are certified bangers or not, you know. So we're going to be going from like 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, 2010s, like anything that's been like a classic, a cult classic, you know, a certified like 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, all of those. We're going to try to go through those, like, you know, at our pace. We're going to try to do like one a week, maybe two, depending on how everything goes. Mm-hmm. So, Breeze, what was that first movie we were talking about?
The Thing. Either that or Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Which one you guys feeling?
What about The Thing?
Oh, The Thing it is.
The Thing it is.
So you got a brief scenario, like brief synopsis of it? So people that haven't heard of The Thing, like spoiler free synopsis real quick.
It's Among Us.
Kind of. That's no deception.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. From what I know, like that seems pretty legit.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, tune in next week. And we'll tell you about our thoughts on The Thing as well as like whatever else the hell we decide to talk about next week. Again, appreciate you guys. Appreciate all the listeners, all the new listeners, all the old listeners. Now, we'll see you on YouTube and we'll see you wherever you get your podcasts. You know, we're on Spotify, Pandora, Stitcher, Deezer, Apple, Google. Literally, if it has a podcast on it, we're on it. Slightly less than perfect. Don't forget it. All right. Love you guys. May your bed stay warm and your pillow stay cold.
Stay perfect, chat.
Peace.
I got my style. I got my style. And it's alright.